All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I said ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to make this quick. We kind of got, a little bit of Minnesota nice weather going out here this morning. It's about 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. You can see there's some of them, some of that white stuff floating in the screen. No, that's not bugs. That is what we like to call snow. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds like it's pouring rain. Well, it really isn't. If you can't hear what I'm talking about, we got a bunch of freezing rain yesterday, and the wind just blowing through the branches makes it sound like it's raining. I should be safe here, but we do have quite a bit of ice build up, so that's what that noise is. But let's go ahead and get this thing started up real quick. All right, first things first, you can see I got that standoff ring in there. First thing I'm going to put in would be the ash pan. Then we're going to go in with the coal basket. But we are using the B&B oak briquettes, and I do have 5 chunks of post oak buried in there. And I'm going to get this thing going with 2 tumbleweed starters, and it should be about good here. Once this does get going, I am going to put the deflector plate in there, and then put the grill grate on, and then let this thing come up to temp. Cook temp today is probably going to be about 275. I just figured I'd show you how I'm going to set this cook up. So we'll pick back up inside and I'll show you what we're cooking. So we're inside, not snowing in here obviously. Trying to be a little quieter because the mini Mad Horse, I like calling him mini Mad Horse. Mini Mad Horse is still taking his snooze, but got about a 10-pound pork butt here. And when it comes to the first meat that I like to cook on, a new cooker, I usually always go to pork butt, just because, I know it's going to be, a 6 to 10 hour cook, a lot of good fats and a drip off, and to me, you can do whatever you want, honestly. I see people do bacon, but, you can do ribs, you can do chicken, you can pretty much do anything you want. My goal here is that when I do my first initial cook, I just want to cook for, a decent amount of time. You guys and girls will see me prep up pork butts, but I'll just real quick go over how I'm going to do this one. You can see I got it in the barbecue prep tub right here. Thing's pretty sweet. I don't know if I set up with this, it's right around 10 pounds. We're going to be cooking fat cap down. Typically all the time when I cook pork butts and briskets, I'm always fat cap down. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get this thing prepped up. Okay, I'm going to give this a binder. The binder we're going to use today is yellow mustard. So go on the whole butt with a good coat of, not a light coat of yellow mustard. You typically I don't really ever use binders. Sometimes I just wake up and feel like using a binder, and that is today. And again, if you guys and girls don't have this tub, the only downside is it's kind of small, but for pork butts, it is like pork butts, chicken, ribs, it's pretty dang perfect, and it really just minimizes your mess. And then once I got this thing all coated in mustard, see if I can grab onto it and flip it. We are using a homemade rub today. It's just in an empty shaker bottle. You guys and girls are like me, I hang on to these empty shaker bottles for when I do make homemade rubs. But this rub has a bunch of coarse salt and coarse pepper. It's got some garlic powder, it's got some paprika, it's got some chili powder, and it's got some celery seed in it. I'm not sure. I might just put exactly what I put all in. I did write it down, but I might put that in the description. We'll see. But we'll start seasoning this. And that is going to be about good. I'm going to let this thing kind of just set out on the countertop. I'm getting the grill up to temp, and I will give you a quick shot once I got it out on the grill. Alrighty, so we are back. I apologize for the lighting. I do have my light stands, but that wind is just whipping right across my driveway, and it already knocked them over a few times, and I'm getting tired of it. But just put the pork butt on. Give you a quick peek here. There she be. Put an internal temp probe in there right now. You can kind of see I am monitoring the temp with my ThermalWorks X4. I am using a food temp probe because for some reason, I haven't even been using this thing for 2-3 months yet. And the internal grill probe already went bad on it. But we're going to go ahead and close this thing down. And internal temp on the pit we're shooting for today is right around 275. It is windy. It is cold. My thermometer said 30 degrees when I got out here. And like I said, that wind and snow is just whipping right across. So it is a good test to see what the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco Pro can do in this Minnesota weather. So besides that, I'm going to leave this thing closed down. Probably for at least 3 to 4 hours, try to get these temps right around 275, and I will pick back up when I open it back up. So we will see in 3 to 4 hours. Alrighty, so we are 3 hours into the cook. Right off the bat, this thing has been holding really good. I've just had to make just a few adjustments to the intake, but we have been running right around that 275 to 295 range this entire cook with very minimal adjustments, which, you know, it should work that way just because it's a UDS. But with the wind kind of whipping straight across the driveway this morning, I was kind of worried about, you know, the wind kind of sort of affecting this cooker. But as of right now, it is operating flawlessly. 3 hours in, like I said, let's go ahead and take a peek at the butt. There she be, looking pretty dang good. Bark is about formed on that already, which is pretty impressive. Internal right now is at 140-ish. I probably will let this thing go to about 165 before I wrap it. So, I mean, besides that, it's not much else. You know, it's a butt. You know, this is an easy cook, perfect cook for, you know, the first initial burn-in, or not burn-in, but the first official cook on this Oklahoma Joe's Bronco Pro. So I'm going to sign off just for a little bit here, but I will pick back up before we wrap, and I'll just give you one final look before I wrap it. Not sure if I'm going to wrap in butcher paper or foil, but I will be wrapping. So stay tuned, and we'll see what we're going to do. So we are back. We have been on for almost exactly, actually it's been like 6 hours and 5 minutes. Internal temp on the butt is up to about 164. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this thing off, and I'm going to wrap it in foil, but I figured I'd give you a quick peek at it before I do wrap it. Bring you in a little closer. Got some nice looking bark on it. I have been opening this thing up about once every 45 minutes after the first 3 hours and spraying this thing down with water. So yeah, again, still super impressed with how well this thing is holding temps, like, you know, for as windy as it is. Very pleased with the performance on this thing. Like I said, pulling this thing in, gonna wrap it up in foil, not gonna put anything in the foil with it, and then put it back on until it's probe tender, which is gonna be about, I'm gonna guess 203 on this one, will be probe tender. But yeah, that's about all I got for the next few hours, so I will pick back up one more time when we're pulling into this and we're eating dinner, so we will see you then. Hey, just thought check back in real quick, give you an update. Decided to wrap in butcher paper instead of foil. That's all I got. See you around dinner time. Alrighty, so we are back, and it is time to pull into this pork butt. Real quick, I'm going to go over the cook times. This was just shy of a 10-hour cook. Did 6 hours on smoke, and then 3 hours and 40 minutes wrap. So it was actually 9 hours and 40 minutes of cook time, and then I let this thing rest for 2 hours. You can see I still got it in the butcher paper. Basically, when I brought it in, I just put it in some foil, wrapped it up a couple times in foil, and then put a couple towels around it, and then let it rest like normal. But let's go ahead and pull into this. Actually, what I'm going to do here, because the last time I used butcher paper, I got it on the countertop, and it stained the butcher block, and I don't like when I stain my butcher block. There's that pork butt, looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and see how that bone pulls. Pretty good. The meat's kind of just falling off of it. It's actually a really big bone, I thought, too. I had a hard time probing this thing. I kept hitting the bone no matter where I put it, and it's because it dang near runs the whole way, and I know most of them do, but this one to me just seems a little big. But let's go ahead and pull into this, see what we got. Just shredding like normal. That should be about good for me. But to be honest with you, it's kind of pulling a little harder than normal. It still pulls really easy, but it does kind of seem on the dry side. But let's just go ahead and take a piece there with some nice looking bark on it. You can see we got a nice smoke ring, even though smoke rings don't really, I mean, it's a pork butt, but let's go ahead and give it a try. Not gonna lie, that is it is a touch on the dry side, to be honest with you. It's still gonna eat plenty good, but the flavor on that is just fantastic. Should have wrapped it in foil. This to me is still a successful cook. It's just a little drier than I'd like. It's not dry by any means, but it's just a little drier than I'd like. Just a couple side notes, but that Oklahoma Joe's Bronco Pro today performed awesome. You know, we had 30-mile-an-hour winds, we had snow, you know, we had some rain, and that grill performed flawlessly. I'm able to keep the exhaust open all the way, and then the intake at about a 2 to 2.5 the whole time, and this maintained 275 to 300 throughout the whole cook. That homemade rub is actually really good. To me, it can use more salt, but I do really like my salt. And then I know I've said it again, but I'm going to say it. You know, I know I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. That combo of B&B oak briquettes and chunks of post oak with pork is just, it's out of this world. Make sure, you know, even if you can just, you know, if you can't get B&B oak, you know, oak briquettes, just get some of Kingsford and then mix a bunch of post oak in with that Kingsford. And it makes pork really, really, really good, or at least to me it does. So now, besides that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Give this video a like, you know, leave me a comment. Make sure to check me out on the Facebook and Instagram. And I don't know. Until the next time, very happy with it. Oklahoma Joe's Bronco Pro, I should say. Sorry, Oklahoma Joe's Bronco Pro. Super happy with it, and is super excited to keep cooking on that thing. So you guys and girls have a good night. I'm going to go ahead and feed Mini Mad Horse, and we will see you next time.